Hi, my name is Macy Hancock, and today I'm going to teach you how to make chocolate chip cookies. But before you want to start, you want to make sure that you have a clean surface and that you have all of your supplies and your oven preheated to 475 degrees. So you'll have a mix of wet and dry ingredients. For your dry ingredients, you'll need 1 1/4 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. So for that, you'll start with a large bowl and you'll start by pouring in the flour. I've already measured mine. So you'll pour in the flour, and then after that, you'll add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. This makes the cookies thick, so if you don't want them as thick, don't add as much cornstarch. And then after that, you want to do a half a teaspoon of salt, but I usually just measure mine in my hand, so you can do about as much as you want. And then after the salt, you'll add a half a teaspoon of baking soda. This is just 1/4 a teaspoon, so you'll do 2. And then you'll just whisk this together briskly because it doesn't really matter. You'll add it to the wet mixture. So after you do that, you'll set that aside and you'll make sure that you have your 1 cup of butter, which is about 1 stick, halfway melted in the microwave. I've already done this, so. And then after that, you'll add 6 tablespoons of brown sugar and 6 tablespoons of white sugar. I've already poured mine in this bowl. And you want to just combine that for the paste. I just used the same spoon. You want to make sure that it's evenly combined. After you add the egg and the vanilla extract, it'll be more of a liquidy consistency that you'll add to the flour. Just turn it on. Okay, so I'm still mixing the butter and the sugar mixture. It should look something like this. Should look something like this. And after that, you want to add your vanilla extract and your egg. It says to do about like a half a tablespoon of vanilla, but I do about 3/4 a tablespoon. And then you will add your egg. Wipe off your hands after you use the egg so that you don't get salmonella. And then you'll combine the egg and the vanilla extract to the butter and sugar mixture. Make sure that this is evenly combined because otherwise it's going to mess up your whole dough. Into your dry mixture. And after you pour it in there, you're going to whisk this until the flour is no longer visible. So you go ahead and do that. And your oven should be about almost preheated by now. So you'll just be able to pop them in after you place them on the cookie sheet. So I'm just going to mix this until the flour is fully dissolved. You cannot see it anymore. If your dough is too thick, then you may want to add like a half a tablespoon of milk. And then if it's too dry, you want to add a tablespoon of milk. And if it's too wet, you may want to add like a tablespoon of flour. So after it's the right consistency, you want to add about a bag of chocolate chips, but I usually just add about a half a bag. And then you'll once you have all of these on there, you'll want to bake them for about, depending on how you like them, if you want them gooey, maybe 6 minutes. And if you like them more tough, then you'll want to do them for about 8 minutes. So once those are on the sheet, you'll want to place them in the oven. And at that point, they should look like this. So they make about 18 per batch, so it's a perfect thing to make for your family or family gatherings. Are there any questions?
Can I have a cookie?
You can have a cookie. I actually pre-prepared everyone a cookie